I feel drawn to read some pages from Letters to a Starseed, page 68 and 69, Life Lessons. If you look at life on Earth as being school for the soul, then life lessons are the curriculum in which we enroll while we're here. Just as our journey through life isn't linear, life lessons aren't one-off classes, but rather themes that we choose to circle, deepening our experience in them as we make our way around and around the spiral of life. Planet Earth is a great initiation for the soul. It's an opportunity to experience who we are as a soul in a physical, separate body. It's also a planet of polarity. I see life lessons as the curriculum we enroll in, the themes we choose to experience in all of their polarity. For this reason, life lessons aren't only about getting it right or ticking a list once we learn the lesson. They're also about experiencing them from all angles in all their polarity. Each year the study deepens more and more. So if one of your life lessons is clear communication, it won't just be about working on your ability to communicate clearly. Instead, it's likely to involve both clear and unclear communication. For you to be on the giving and receiving end of all kinds of communication, and to truly live the theme of clear communication from all possible angles as you wind your way through the spiral of life. For this reason, it's so important for our peace of mind and well-being that we do our best not to look at difficult times or times of deep learning as getting it wrong, as if we've somehow failed. From the perspective of the soul, no experience is ever lost or wasted. If we instead see it as an opportunity for soul growth and a deepening of our own incarnation. When you're having a hard time, or perhaps when a friend is going through one, it's comforting to see things from a soul perspective, as this reminds you or them that right now your soul is most certainly growing and living, and that's a big reason we're here. If you're struggling, in pain, or frustrated, know that you're not alone in this, and perhaps growing, contracting, and then expanding is the whole point. Soul inquiry. Look back on your life and the different experiences you've gone through. What have been the greatest lessons in your life so far? What have been the biggest themes of your life? Is there a particular area of your life that you're finding challenging right now? If you look at things from a soul perspective, what are you learning through the challenge? What are you learning through this challenge that you're facing right now? I want to share a story from the last couple of years. For the last couple of years, I've received an email every week from an organization that I signed up to do a coaching class and be part of the group from the class. And they have a live session twice a week. And I continue to receive the email prompts every week, sometimes 2 or 3 times a week, and erase them. I can look at that experience as having wasted a couple $1,000. Anytime I try to take a class, it doesn't resonate with me, and I only get through the first lesson. Anytime I try to join the live session, something gets in the way and I'm not able to do it. And anytime I read things from the group, they don't resonate or connect with me, really in any way. I can look at it as a loss, something that hasn't worked out in my life. So a couple of years ago, when I was wanting to start a spiritual rebirth tarot on YouTube, that business, I wanted to have a business coach to help me in the process, to learn more about marketing and sales, connecting with people, bringing in my goals. And this course seemed like the perfect one to do that. It certainly delved into some things that I was wanting to understand and learn. So I booked a session with one of the salespeople to talk about the course and see whether I would be interested. During that phone conversation, the person selling the course said to me, "You need to make a decision today." And people who are super successful make decisions instantly. They don't spend time thinking about things. I'm not exactly sure what he said, the exact words, but the gist was that if I didn't make a decision to take that class right now, to put that money down and get started, I was a loser. Now that is not his intention. He was using a very simple and straightforward sales tactic, which is often used. However, my background is a child who is shamed and judged daily. And when I hear that this is the way to be successful, and that if I don't do it, I feel ashamed, inadequate, and judged, my response was to buy the course and to try to begin so that I would be successful. Later, I realized that there are hundreds of thousands of those courses, those opportunities, and there is one that resonates with you and is the right group for you, or there may not be. You might be called on a different path. It doesn't mean that you won't be successful in life. In fact, the more authentic and vulnerable we are, the more authenticity comes from ourselves, the more success we feel in our lives. At least that's my belief now. Our beliefs are sticky little things, and they do change over time. And my belief, of that I didn't want to be a loser, and that I felt shame and judgment were very key. I have found many times in my life I have made decisions. That decision may have been, financial, it may have been relational, different types of decisions based on that judgment and shame. So this week, I was thinking about this situation and how I'd wasted probably close to $3,000, and how nice it would be to have that money in an investment or savings account instead of in their pockets. But the question is, what type of soul lesson am I going to learn from this? So earlier yesterday, I was feeling angry. I began feeling angry, so angry at that group, so angry at that salesperson, really, really angry inside. And in the past, in my childhood, I was taught that anger is wrong. And so, in the past, I just was like, anger is wrong, and I'm going to push it down and push it away. But lately, I've been learning that we need to embrace and feel our feelings, not to ignore our feelings, but to let them be experienced and pass through our bodies. And as they pass through our bodies, we are able to cleanse and clear and be brought into joy. So I got out a little book, began writing down, I am angry at this company and this salesperson for making me feel shameful and judged and forcing me to buy something that I have never used, that I don't resonate with, and that is not for me. And as I began to write that, then I began to write, of course, it's not that someone else makes us feel a certain way. It's that we allow it. I allowed myself to feel judged and to feel shame. I allowed myself to feel shame. And this comes from childhood trauma. So am I going to allow that childhood trauma and that shame to control the rest of my life and my decisions in the future? Or am I going to learn from this experience and grow back into peace, joy, and happiness? So as I worked through it, I was able to let go of the shame, release the shame, and walk into a new experience of joy and happiness, truly feeling it, allowing it to be a part of me, and then to let go. One way you can do that is with your breath. So you can breathe into your heart, breathe in, and then as you breathe out those things that no longer serve you. Breathe out the shame, breathe out the judgment, breathe out the loss, breathe out the vulnerability, as kind of, I feel a little self-conscious. Like, why did I make such a stupid mistake? So we breathe that out. Breathe out the self-conscious. And then breathe in love and light. Breathe in peace and joy. Breathe in happiness and harmony. Breathe in. And so we can use our breath. We can go to the creator of all that is and ask him to change our belief systems, releasing all shame and guilt, judgment and fear, insecurity, fear of vulnerability, fear of authenticity. Release those to light and bring in the peace, joy, and happiness of God. I'm so excited to say that I felt the anger and the anger passed. I felt the shame and the shame passed. I felt the sadness of the loss of the money, and it passed. And I can enter the vortex, the energy field of joy, the vibration of joy. When you are living in joy, when you are connected to joy, when you are in joy, in play, come and play with me. When you are in play, your life will show you so that you know that that's where you are. One day as I was driving home from work, I very distinctly said to myself, I will drive in joy. I will be in alignment. And all the way home, right during rush hour, there were almost no other cars on the road. And I didn't hit a red light. I flowed smoothly from work to home, in the flow, in the energy of joy, in that energy vortex. So we were led today to an excerpt from Letters to a Starseed. And in Letters to a Starseed, we were led to life lessons and to the soul inquiry of look back on your life and the different experiences you've gone through. What have been the greatest lessons to your life so far? What have been the biggest themes of your life? Is there a particular area of your life that you're finding challenging right now? For me, it's managing finances. And so I think this is why this story came up. Learning to make my decisions not based on shame and judgment, but on respect and love for money. And the last question, if you look at things from a soul perspective, what are you learning through this challenge? So those are the questions you can ask yourself. And from page 69 of Letters to a Starseed, and see where things go in your life this week. I'll talk to you later. Thank you for connecting with Raya Satori. And I am the master of healing and transformation, a Blu-ray being filled with light and love.